Okay, today we'll learn about creating business from opportunity. That is chapter 3 of this course, Entrepreneurship. And today's learning outline, it's we'll learn to define business, how you can define your business as an entrepreneur, how to distinguish between entrepreneur and managerial thinking. Also articulate the business core belief, your core beliefs, mission and vision of the business. We also be looking at some case studies of some businesses, already existing businesses well known all over the world. Then we also try to know how to decide how to approach business opportunity, making decision on how to approach business opportunities, analyze competitive advantage, prepare viability tests using the economics of one unit, and calculate the value of a business. So we'll first of all look at business definition. A business, for you to define your business, you must look at the offer, the target market, and the production and delivery capability. The offer means what you are offering, what you produce in the product, okay? What you're producing and what you intend or what you are selling to the customer. So it actually includes the complete bundle of products and services which the entrepreneur is bringing to the marketplace. Then the target market is the segment of market you are focusing on. Who are you selling to? Okay, demographic information about the people. Okay, is it the high income earners that you are targeting or the low income earners you are targeting? Is it the youth? Is it the elderly? Or is the babies, the children, the kids you're focusing on? All these are things that actually define the kind of business you're doing. Then we also look at the aspect of production and delivering capability. This provides your offer to your targeted customers. Okay, it means that it includes the primary activity of the business, like buying, developing, or manufacturing the product, where you buying the resources from, you producing this product, how you develop it or how you manufacture it. Then you have to also identify the potential qualified customers as that you're selling the product to. Okay, then produce and deliver the product or services. How do you deliver? How do you give them? How do they have access to the product? How do they get? Okay, the convenience involved in it. All these are criteria one has to consider in defining the kind of business doing. The receive payment is also very important. How you get your payment. Okay, these days it's very easy. Unlike before, it all has to be physical, but now we can actually do bank transfer, uh, transfer payment across borders. Even now we have apps like PayPal, which we can actually make payments to receive payment. So in defining your business, we've looked into the aspect to define your business, and now we are going to look at the types of reasoning. Okay, using how to use effectual reasoning to advantage. We have the effectual logic and we have the causal logic. Okay, like the effectual, it's a thinking and decision making in situation of uncertainty, when you're not sure and you need to make a decision based on the information or data you have, but then you're not sure if it's accurate or not. Then the causal logic, it's reasoning, thinking, decision making for a specific goal. You already know what you are after, what you intend to get. I mean the output or the result. So you're making decision in regards to this. So for effectual logic and causal logic, they are very important aspects of thinking and decision making, reasoning in a business. It's very important how an entrepreneur decides on this in his effectual logic and causal logic plays a very big role in the success of the business. So mm, we're going to look at the the analysis by Dr. Saravati, who has examined the entrepreneur thinking and action. So for many years, research has been going on entrepreneur, people trying to see, what are the qualities or traits that should be that is common among the entrepreneurs. Is it the best order? Is it their personality? Is it the competencies, entrepreneurial rotation? All these are things, aspects of entrepreneurs that has been looked into. However, the Dr. Sarasaralo has also examined the entrepreneurial thinking and action, and analysis shows that effectual logic and causal logic has a very big, important role in how successful entrepreneur can create business from opportunities. Like we said in our previous classes, most times business starts from opportunity. You're trying to solve a problem which has been identified. So in kind of identifying this problem and trying to kickstart a business in that regard, it's an opportunity most people grab, and they create out product or services in solving the solution. So in this slide, we try to look at the effectual logic and the causal logic, what it's all about. Like I said, the effectual logic is thinking, decision making in situation of uncertainty, and the other is in situation when decision made in situations targeted for a specific goal. So let's look at the various types of decision which one can come up with in effectual logic or causal logic. First, we see bird in hand principle starts with your means. A bird in hands. If I know you've heard about this saying, a bird in hands worth a million in the bush. What you already have in hand, you should maximize it and get the best out of it. That actually pursue what you don't have. Then we also have one with causal logic, which says start with a set goal, cause and effect. Okay, you should start with a set goal. You set your goal and you start off from there. There's also affordable loss principles for effectual logic, and this one means you're not sure, you cannot ascertain what the loss. Ascertain the cost of your loss or what you have to forego. Remember, we've done about opportunity cost and the choices we make. Okay, so sometimes we are not certain about what is going to be our opportunity cost in the decision we make, but then we still go ahead with it, right? We feel we can afford it. We can. We are shock and absorber, right? We can withstand and we can absorb whatever loss we are going to that is going to come out from whatever decision we're making. But this is not with a causal logic. Causal logic has to be very calculative, means you have to reason and think, calculate on your expected return and your loss. We also have the Nemoli principle for effectual logic, and we also have avoid failure. You are well conversant with what can give you loss, and you try to avoid it as much as possible. Then we have the crazy gate principle, collaborate and co-create, and we have the compete for causal. So we have the pilot in the plane principle, future which is made, and we also have future is found or predicted. And for causal, we have interactive and bumpy. Bumpy means it's not stable, it's ups and down. But then for causal logic, we plan to ensure that we are able to reduce less challenges, bumpy challenges, and be able to excel. Then we have small actions taken incrementally, because it's all about certainty. The decisions we are making is all about the certainty. We are we try to make small actions, decision making. But this is different from causal logic, which has to be because we are very sure of what our outcome is going to be. We are more focused in achieving our goal. We are very bold with the moves and decisions we make in this regard. So now let's look at what sort of organization do you want as an entrepreneur, or want to embark on entrepreneurial journey, what type of organization will you want to start off with? First of all, is that each organization has its vision, mission, and culture that supports this that supports its core value. So organizational culture can be shaped according to the business environment and by the way employees, customers, and other stakeholders are treated. As an example is set by the founding entrepreneur. Means the entrepreneur must be a role model in trying to set the organizational culture. It must be able to set the pace, and it should come up and uh, and exhibit the kind of culture he wants his his employees, or his colleagues, or people, his team members should emulate. Now we're going to look at core values. What core value is all about? Core value is ethical, it's fundamental and moral philosophy and belief that form the foundation of an organization, and it actually provides the broad guidance for all decision making. So it's like a case for your decisions. Okay. Now, as an entrepreneur, examples of the core value of a business might be at superior printing. Okay, you're not interested in doing anything of substandard or of not of any low quality. Engage in business practices that affect the environment as little as possible. Mean you want to your kind of business will be very environmental friendly and accommodative, not the one that causes more pollution and be kind of degrading or polluting degrading the environment, okay, and all its resources. Now we're going to look at the case study of at Sheila Restaurants, and one of its core values is that we believe in supporting local organic farmers. Means that they're actually patronizing organic products. They don't want producing things that will be harmful to the human system, like things like pesticides, fertilizers. Means everything they probably be using for their production, the resources will be organic. Okay, it means they're actually supporting eating and living healthy. Okay, so this is an example of a core value of a company. Now we also look at other examples we have for Zabos.com. Zabo is a popular company. These are their core values. They are up to 10. Deliver a wow through service. Okay, embrace and drive change, embrace and drive change, create fun, a little weirdness. Okay, and if you read up to 10, these are all about the core value of this company. We also have for Do Agro Science and also Do Point Company. So these are various core values for different companies. Now let's look at company's mission. Okay, a company mission is expressed in a mission statement. It's actually a summary, kind of concise communication of your purpose, business definition, and values. Yeah. The function of a mission statement is to clarify that the business is actually trying to do what it's trying to do in this present, and how it intends to, but also what direction it's going, and the motivation for future action through a clear and compelling message. A company's mission statement shouldn't be a textbook. It should be that when someone reads it, kind of summary of what you're doing now, what are you doing it, and what you intend to do in the future. By the time the person sees it and reads it, the person gets a very good concept about what the business is all about and how you're going about it, where you're coming from, what you do, or how you're doing it, and where you're going. This is why when you visit many corporations and organizations, you see a lot of, you see them, they've pasted their mission statements on the wall of the office, especially in the receptions corner or reception corner where they receive their customers or visitors. Now, what is the function of a mission statement? It's actually to clarify what the business is trying to do in the present. This I already mentioned, and how it's doing it, and the motivation for the future. A mission statement should be limited to 21 to 40 words. Like I said, it shouldn't be an essay. It's like a very concise statement, summary of what you're all about. Now we also have examples of mission statements of these companies. Okay, I will just read out one, which I guess you all know this company, which is Google. It actually says its mission statement is that it's to organize the world's information and to make it universally accessible and useful. As you see, this is very concise, brief, but just reading it, you already know all about how Google is, what Google is doing, what Google is doing, and how it's about to do it. You see, it's about doing it, which it says is going to make it universally accessible, and where it's going, it means it has to be very it will keep giving us information that will be relevant and useful to us at every point in time. Okay. We also have for other popular companies, we have for Kiva Microphones, we have Teach for America, Eli Ann's Body Therapy. All this you can read on your own later on. Now let's look at vision. Okay, vision is different from mission, and it's also different from what do you call it, the culture. Okay, vision is a business broader and comprehensive, broader and comprehensive than its mission. It actually gives a picture of the overall view of what the entrepreneur, the business organization is intends to become in the future, not what is at the moment. Okay, it means vision. Vision means you focus it. You know where you're going, what you intend to, where you intend, your direction, where you are going. Okay, it's built on the core values of the organization. It should energize. When people read your vision, okay, it should be able to motivate and energize them, and they should be able to embrace it with enthusiasm and passion. They want to be part of that process, they want to be part of that company, or they want to be part of your team. So mission has to be very compelling across the organization. So we're going to look at examples of different vision of different companies, and I'll still pick Google, and let's read Google because it's very brief. You see, it's because it's very brief and concise. I'm always have interest in kind of reading it. Okay, now to provide access to the world's information in one click. Simple. That means to provide, its vision is to provide access to the world's information in one click. Means that they want it, they are working towards easy accessibility, giving you the service which you actually desire. Okay, they want to meet your needs in just one click. So this is about Google, and now we are going to look at company's culture. This is also very important. Culture is largely shaped by its leadership. It's composed of the core values in that in action. Okay, your core value and the culture. The practical thing. Your values, putting them in practical, in reality, practice. Okay, leaders of the company build a particular culture. What culture? By making the beliefs, values, and behavioral norms explicit and intentional. Core values, company's culture defines, company culture includes factors such as risk tolerance, you can tolerate risks, innovation, very innovative, orientation with respect to people, you respect people, no matter where they're coming from, no matter their race, their belief, their religion, or whatever thing they're doing, you respect them. Okay. Be it their staff or customers, you respect them. Okay. Teams and outcomes, attention to detail, communication norms, even gender equality. All these are culture. When you say gender equality, it means there's no discrimination between a male and a female in the workplace. A lady is not paid less because she's a female, or a male is not paid more because it's a male. They actually are paid based on your output and your status. Okay, it's same for all, whether you are a male or a female. So these are examples of work culture, and it's also very, very important. Companies that has good work culture tend to retain their staff more. You can actually kind of on your own browse and see the work culture of different countries of the world. We have some examples here. Let's see. Okay, we don't have any here, so you can browse about that and you can find out about the work culture of many companies. You can also check for Google too. Then there are three primary roles in deliberate search process to identify opportunities. Now we've talked about the values, mission, vision, and work culture. Now we're going to look at the business opportunity and the decision process. Like I said, opportunity into success can be done in different ways. Okay, you know how to do it, but then there are three primary routes in the deliberate search process to identify opportunities. How do you identify opportunities? The three search routes are: one, the entrepreneur looks for business opportunity through a process of identification and selection, beginning with self-developed or co-developed ideas. Okay, when you try to empower yourself or develop yourself is what they call self-development, and you do that, you begin to kind of see and notice or identify the opportunities that comes with it. Another aspect is the entrepreneur uses essentially the same process but start with research on hot businesses. You are very abreast with the news. Okay, you are abreast with the news and what is going on in the world, so you'll be able to know the trendy businesses or growth areas. Okay, and also hot businesses that there are businesses that are on that were not on 10-20 years ago. A lot of businesses are on now, usually businesses that has to do with online. Okay, so when you are very conversant and you do a lot of research, you'll be able to find a niche area opportunity which as an entrepreneur you can start off. The entrepreneur has an idea for a product or service and searches for the market. You already have on your own an idea, a very good idea that is sellable, packageable, sellable, and all you just need to do is to look for the market for it. Now, the business opportunity decision process, this is it. Okay, so this is just the diagram. I'm not sure if it's clear enough. So, but let's look at this from this slide. Now, we say for your business to be successful and to fulfill mission and vision, you will need a strategy for beating the competition, and that is called competitive advantage. Competitive advantage is it's a kind of whatever meaningful benefits you can provide, which puts you ahead of the competition. Something that actually gives you a edge over others. Okay, so the competitive advantage you must identify as an entrepreneur, and this will be your competitive or core competency. Okay, the competitive advantage must be sustainable. Once you be able to identify it, it must be something that you can continue with, and you must sustain in order to create long-term viability. Then your competition is defined by your target market, and this can be direct and indirect. When we talk about direct, it means selling the same or similar product to the same market, or when we mention indirect, it means selling different products that compete for the same share of customer spending. Now, your competitive advantage is whatever meaningful benefits, like I already explained to you. So we're going to look at case study of among the very rich entrepreneurs in the world, very successful entrepreneurs in the world, like Bill Gates, for example. How did Bill Gates start? Okay, the thing is that Bill Gates did not invent computer software, but he did recognize that people were frustrated and intimidated by it. He actually was able to see that that was an opportunity for him. Okay, so from there he supplied the operating system that he purchased from another software company to IBM. Then he created a user-friendly software application that consumers were in need of, and it just all he needed to do was packaging. I don't know if you've heard about packaging. Sometimes when we have an idea, the challenge is how to package it to sell to people. So first of all, when you understand what the opportunity, the problem is, and you see it as an opportunity, you must be able to package whatever product or service that you feel can solve that problem and make it very attractive, just the way Bill Gates did. And this was very, in a way, he was able to package this software application. It made it easy to read as manuals. Then that was his competitive advantage, okay? Because of his packaging was his competitive advantage. Now we're going to also look at the unique knowledge of your market. How do you have the unique knowledge of your market? Sometimes we don't even know anything unique about our market, okay? But it's something easy. It's something we can easily do, because sometimes our market actually starts from our friends, neighbors, classmates, colleagues, relatives, and classmates. So, and these people, we are usually close to them. We know what the problem is. We know what the challenges are. We're able to identify it, and we feel we can do business in that regard. We start off. By the time we start off with them, there's always a point where you start off. You sell out to all that people. From there, people get to know the product and they patronize. It could be a product or service. But however, we should be very careful to differentiate assumption from reality. Most business owners, they fail because they cannot do this, because they just work based on their assumption. This is why we should be able to differentiate between assumption and reality, because if you work with assumption, in reality it could be a failure. Okay, so we should know what is true and what is not true, uh, uh, so that we will be able to make a good decision. Now let's look about Richard Branson. Richard Branson was the CEO of Veggie Corporation. He is the owner of the Veggie. Okay, I know you probably be wondering why he gave such name to his company, because he was very inexperienced in what he was doing. So it was an idea, and he named his company like that. It's a what do you call it? It's a 6-letter word. So today he has Veggie Mega Stores, he has Veggie Atlantic Airways, he has Veggie Mobile, and he actually began uh, as a tiny discount mail order record company, just a mail order, which he started at the age of 19 after he had dropped out of high school. Branson knew his market, and he also knew other young people who were into music very well. Okay, he knew them. Okay, his target market. Okay, and then from there he was able to branch off into other aspects of the business. Just like today we know him because of the Veggie Atlantic Airways. Okay, I actually know about this Richard Branson because of his Veggie Atlantic Airways. But that is not where he started his business from. Okay, so there's always a place to start, and from there you expand. We're still going to look at someone else. Okay, after this slide. Now there are 6 factors of a competitive advantage. First of all is quality, price, location, selection, service, and speed turnaround. So when we say quality, it should be higher quality can be a very competitive advantage. It means that you should be able to provide high quality compared to your competitors. Then price is also another way to be of competitive advantage, to have a competitive advantage. When your prices are good and affordable and what you're selling is good, people will also patronize you. Then location, convenience, okay, it's very important. People actually patronize some businesses not because of the other factors that I've mentioned. They don't care about the price or whatever quality they give you, but sometimes they look at how convenient it is for them to have access to this product, okay, or service. At the same time, I'm not saying they don't look at other factors, they do, but location is one thing that it's also very important that should be considered. It actually creates convenience. I mean, you can find a more convenient location for your customers so that you can reach out to one another, okay, for your demand and supply. We have selection. Selection actually provides a wider range of choices than your competitors can, and service is also a way of being being competitive. Is to provide better, more personalized customer service. Then we have speed turnaround. It means that you have speed. A lot of business don't grow because they are very slow in response to their customers. And the world is very fast now. So as a businessman, you must learn to go with the speed, okay? And the world we are now. If as an entrepreneur you lack that speed, there's high tendency that you will not be you will lose some advantage that comes with it. You could see that speed and turnaround, it's a very big competitive advantage. Personally, I actually patronize some business because of their fast response. I mean, when you ask for the product, you make purchase, before you know it, in the next 2-3 days, especially products online, you get your product. Okay? While you have problem with the product, you reach out to them, they respond very fast. And at the same time, I've also kicked out some products out of use because their speed, their response in terms of supply, response to complaints or services is very slow. Okay. So now let's look at is your competitive advantage strong enough? It's also very important, okay? So according to Jeffrey Timmons, new venture creation, a successful company needs to do one of the following. Sell to a market that is large and growing, sell to a market where the competition is able to make a profit, sell to a market where the competition is succeeding but it's not so powerful as to make it possible for a new entrepreneur to enter. It should be that the market doesn't limit new entrepreneurs in doing. Okay, it's like there's no barrier to entry. Okay, so barrier to entry is actually the factor that contribute to the ease or difficulty of a new competitor joining an established market. So for a competitive advantage could be that you can sell in the market. Okay, you could actually find your way into a market where the competition is succeeding, means you can actually grow, and it's not so impossible for a new entrepreneur, for example, a new entrepreneur to enter. Now another one is sell a product or service that solve problems consumers may have with the competition. Sell a product or service at a competitive price that will attract customers. This is also very important. Customers love quality and cheap products. Okay. Now we're going to look at according to also Tim. Let's see. According to Jeffrey, also it's also companies to do one of the. Okay, these are the understanding needs of your customer. It's also very important. Needs of your customers, have a sustainable competitive advantage or multiple evolving advantage. You can having just one competitive advantage is not enough. The world is very competitive. You see, a lot of companies just copy and paste, so you should be very innovative. Come up with one competitive advantage. Do more. Okay, you try to come up with more competitive advantage. And so stay and sustain your business. Then deliver a product or service that meets your customer needs at the right price. Okay. Now we have checking out the competition. For you to know if you have a competitive advantage that will enable you to outperform your closest and stronger competitors, you should have a competitive offer. Okay. Then that means your offer compare with those of your leading competitors is very competitive. Okay, and you to have a competitive offer, you should also look at the key features of each. You should know what are the key features of your competitor is, and so that you know how to improve yours. Their unique selling proposition. Based on that comparison, what is your unique selling proposition? That is your USP. The distinctive feature and benefit that set you apart from your competition. Then cost structure. I mean, are your costs, your overall costs, is it of advantage or disadvantage to you? You know, if it's of advantage to you, means that you are actually getting at a cheaper cost compared to your competitors. So you could easily give at a very competitive offer and price. So we end this part one. We end part one of this class here, and we will continue from here. In the next part two of the class, we'll be looking at this case study about a chocolate, Amy's chocolate. Okay, so I'll just end this now.